Well, I want to welcome you to Food for Health. As you can tell, I'm not Cheryl. She is still in Utah. She'll be back in the middle of November for another class. I'm Dan McWilliams, her other half, not necessarily her better half.
No, for sure not.
It's for sure.
But he's a good guy and he's great at ultimate frisbee.
So welcome, and we're going to do, for our cooking demonstration, banana bread variations. I have a recipe on the first one, I think, is the traditional vegan recipe, which includes cane sugar and oil. Came upon the oil-free one by accident. I was making some gluten-free banana bread for my daughter, and I made it and forgot to put the oil in, and it was a nice experiment. And I actually had some at a meeting when Dr. Howe was there, and I said, hey, I made some banana bread without oil, not intently, but it came out pretty good. So I decided to experiment some more, and came up with some recipes without oil, without sugar, and you'll be able to have some of those. I made three recipes here. The one I'm going to give you for the first part is the one with the applesauce and maple syrup, so no cane sugar and no oil. And then I made one with oil but without sugar, and then I made another one with no applesauce, no oil, no sugar, just extra maple syrup. So you can experiment with those afterwards. But Cheryl likes to have me do occasionally a food demonstration, because if I can do it, anyone can do it. I grew up in a house of 4 boys, and my mom had lots of work, lots of help on the outside of the house, but not so much on the kitchen and the other parts. But I like to eat, and so I would often come in to help get the food ready. And so I learned from her, which she was a vegan cook back in the 70s, and so when it wasn't so easy. So we had a lot of homemade recipes and a lot of things that you don't have now accessible at the supermarkets and things like that. So we'll start right in. I'm going to make the one with the no oil and no sugar, but with applesauce, since we have lots of applesauce in, and I know Dr. Howe has a lot too. So, but all of these ingredients I got at Hannaford, except for the applesauce, of course. But King Arthur's 100% whole wheat, whole grain flour. Start with a cup. And 3/4. I'm going to put all the dry ingredients first. A teaspoon of baking powder. Half a teaspoon of salt. Baking soda. Actually, we got this at Costco, I think. Industrial size, yes. But we use it for cleaning more than cooking. So 1/4 teaspoon. Flaxseed, easy to get in whole. You either need to grind it up by hand or in a little coffee grinder or food processor to make the meal. And that is 2 teaspoons. And then, let me grab a fork and just kind of mix it all up. Just get it so you don't see the flax meal. And then half a cup of maple syrup. I'm going to make this because I made all these and had to just look at them over. So now I'll have a loaf to make tonight when I go home. So half a cup of, and then when I cut this in with a fork, just kind of, it'll make it a little bit lumpy, not too bad though. And then the bananas. Hannaford didn't have any really ripe ones, so I had to. So it may change the flavor of the banana bread if you get super ripe ones. I heard a comedian say that nobody plans to make banana bread. It's one of those things that happens. But this is a great recipe because you can also put in zucchini, make a zucchini bread. Just substitute the bananas for the zucchini. Also, you can put in pumpkin, but you'd have to add the pumpkin spices and whatnot. But yeah, so it's a very versatile recipe. And these don't, they're kind of
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
So if you're going to do the pumpkin or the zucchini, what's the equivalent to the 300 bananas?
It's about, it's a little more than a cup. So it's right around a cup. One of the recipes I saw called for a cup, but
I
that
usually
is said.
do 1 can of pumpkin.
In this, something like this?
Yeah, comes out pretty good.
So then we'll just kind of mix that in. And then 2 tablespoons of water.
Notice you don't mix your ground flaxseed with water before you put it in.
No,
You
don't
could.
need. You could.
Does it make a difference?
It didn't seem to. And I'm going to put a little more liquid in it. I like it a little more doughy.
Probably if your bananas had been riper.
Probably. It would have been a little more, yeah. And now you could put your either your pecans or your walnuts. You can mix them in, or like I did here, I just put them on top and bake them in on top. So, however you like. Since I don't have as many, I think I'll wait until I put them on top. And you don't have to put it in a tin. I've put it in a kind of like a 8x8, so it's smaller. It gets more surface area, so if you like a crusty bread, it's easier that way. Then you stick it in the oven at 350 for 55 minutes, and that's it. So I have, like I said, ones I have cut out are the ones with the applesauce, no oil, and no sugar. But I also made one with oil, but no sugar, and one with no applesauce, no sugar, no oil, extra maple syrup. So you're welcome to try those too. So if anyone wants to come up, we'll give samples.
Thank you.
So mostly the difference is going to be consistency.
Okay.
Flavor is pretty much universal.